Welcome to the Country Place Greenhouse Show. Today we'd like to talk a little bit about a few things that are important this time of the year. A lot of people get married at this time of the year, it seems like, and we have some real nice ferns that are rentable. You can rent them for $5 a piece and keep them for a couple of days for whatever time your event is going on. Now we have several different types of ferns that you can go ahead. The size will vary a little bit, and you can pick out. We've got about 1,000 to pick from, so they should have adequate numbers. Now another basket this time of the year is really important, and that is a basket that will last in the summer. And the moss rose is a basket, or portulaca. It's a real good basket. You can see they're just opening up. They don't open up until it gets real sunny, and that's the unique part about it. Then they go to sleep at night. But this is a basket that takes full sun. Also, it's a little more forgiving. If you forget to water it for a day or so, it will still come back. And that's pretty important for some people. A lot of people have a real problem with the watering aspect. And most of the time, your petunia baskets and impatient baskets, if you water in the morning, that's maybe the best time for you to go ahead and do that. We also have a basket here that is a vinca basket or periwinkle basket. We don't sell them early in the year. We sell them now because this is a basket that does really good. In the summertime, it self-cleans. It doesn't require you to prune on it. It gets like a little ball, and they're ideal for this time of the year. I think that if I had to pick a flower, that would be my favorite one, the vinca basket. But we can't sell it early because it does not like anything below 50 degrees at night. So that's why we don't offer it as an early basket. Another plant too that's really coming on strong right now is the caladiums, and there's a lot of different colors, and these can be used in a shady area where you can go ahead and have them on your porch or something back on your porch. We have them in patio pots as well as the individual pots. I think you'll find that to be quite a good plant for you. Now we're going to move outside and talk a little bit about trees and shrubs. But they're a raspberry plant, and I think that right now it'd be a good time to put them if you like a red raspberry. Matter of fact, we've been eating some off of it. It's turned out really good. I guess probably this plant's pretty well cleaned. It seems like help and myself, we clean them up pretty good. We don't let it go to waste at all. Now the raspberries will do very well. You got to keep them watered, of course, and that's something that you'll have to be concerned about. Now we have also right now a lot of grapes that are coming on. These are really good grapes. They're all seedless that we have. We got several different varieties of grapes. Let me see if I can go ahead. One of these had some actual grapes on it, but that would be something that you could go ahead and plant. Again, keeping it watered. I can't find the grapes. I should have got these out a little bit beforehand. That we would have been able to see the grapes that they have. Now you'll see some damage on it, but our little friend, the Japanese beetle, has been around. And of course that rainstorm we had the other day, it knocked most of them away, and they've gone away right now for a short period of time. But that's something that just one of those things we have to put up with here in Kentucky. Oh, what we have here is a weeping cherry. This is a snow fountain. You can see this is a really good sized trunk on it. These are probably the finest ones that I've seen this year. We had able to buy some that were smaller caliper around the trunk, and I did at first. I had to buy them because that was all that was available. But I had been watching these where a person had been growing them, but they weren't rooted in good enough, so I wasn't able to buy them until about 3 weeks ago. But they are really a good plant. They're $99, and I think that's well worth it. They'll go ahead and flower quite well in the spring, and it's quite enjoyable. You can prune them off. If I get this pruner out of here. Now sometimes it'll come up with a limb that will stick straight up. You can just cut that off in order to keep it more in line with your flowing down process. That's what you have to do to a lot of the weeping cherries, because they do want to put up a wild stem that will come up higher. And you could see the Japanese beetle the other day, about 3 days before the storm came through, just was loaded with them. And you could spray 7 on them, but Japanese beetles are such where you have to sort of put up with them and kind of wait for the good times to go by, I guess, and in relation to it. Now here's another one that can be trimmed off, and you just trim off. Oh, there goes a Japanese beetle right now, a little devil. But he'll be back, and then we'll spray him here in the next few days. Now there's also some other plants that we have. The Nandina, we have Gulfstream and Nandina, Firepower, and they do really well. And I think that that's something that can be used in your landscape. We have a good selection of boxwoods and quite a few plants right now that would work out well. Now, in watering plants, your trees and shrubs, many times people make the mistake, I tell them to water them, but they water them, just maybe they hold a hose on them for a short period of time, and that's not good. The water's got to go all the way to the bottom of the container. So what you have to do, either get a 5-gallon bucket, put like a number 8 nail hole in the bottom of it and set it on it, or else put your hose and just let it run real slow and let it water real good, and don't water it then again for about somewhere between 5 and 10 days. And even if it rains, you still have to water, because a lot of times if you go ahead, you take a shovel and you dig down, you might be a lot of rain, but really the water's only gone in maybe an inch or two. And you got to remember, the roots are way down at the bottom of that pot, and you got to get that water down there to the roots. This is a type of plant that have a big white bloom. It's a limelight hydrangea. They haven't bloomed yet, but they will here very shortly. You see them coming on in the landscape right now. They have a big white fluffy bloom on them. But they do really good for people. I think they're one of the prettier ones too for you to take a look at. One thing, a lot of people have got cannas this year, and cannas you want to go ahead and be sure you trim them, otherwise they'll look bad like that. And what you do is you just snip that piece off. But you gotta be careful now. There's another canna coming up, another flower coming up. It comes up on a stem that sort of looks like what you need to trim off, but you don't want to cut it down. You don't want to cut it down here, because you eliminate all the flowering potential of that plant. You can see where it's been cut off down there, then it cut off here. So you go ahead and move up the stalk. Now, our little buddy, the Japanese beetle, is out here jumping around. They love cannas. They just seem to be attracted to them. But again, it's just something you have to put up with for a short period of time. You can pick them off, or you can spray this plant with some of your different chemicals that will kill them. But they are a continuous plant. Now we also have, this year I thought I'd plant some lantana around, and you could trim the lantana around the plant. Just when you trim, you want to get right above another leaf where it's coming out, and that way they'll bush out more, and they'll give you a fuller plant. I was hoping this year to get a lot of hummingbirds, because hummingbirds love lantana, but I don't know, not a one hummingbird has showed up. I even put up a hummingbird feeder, and I don't know whether they're just not prevalent or whether they just forgot about us this year. I'm not really sure. We always had a family here before, and maybe something happened to that family and haven't come back. I'd like to thank you for being with us today on Country Place Greenhouse. We're directly across from the Lebanon Springfield Airport on Highway 55.